Where is this in the Bible? Show me. Sorry, Moses, we ain't got a Bible yet, but we're going to work on that a little later on. You just better do what I tell you to do, because you are not people who are following the Bible. You are people who are becoming the Bible. You are not people who are reading the book. You are people of the book. And when you realize today that the book you have in your hands is actually a foreshadow of who you are today, it's going to really change and manifest things in an amazing way. But you need to understand, the sons and daughters of God begin by being students of the thing, but they never end students. They become that which they've been studying. See, when you understand the Hebrew culture, all rabbis do this. A rabbi walks around most of his life looking for people that can mimic him perfectly, so that when the rabbi dies, he has multiplied himself by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 people who can now begin to manifest the rabbi when the rabbi is gone. So when Jesus was looking for Talmudim, disciples, he wasn't looking for people to follow him the way we would think. He was looking to impart sonship, so that when he left, the son would multiply. Satan killed one. He should have never done it, because the son done multiplied himself. And if you begin to understand the things that Peter was doing, Peter at one point was walking down the street and his shadow was healing people. Come on, somebody. Jesus never even did that. What he did is, Peter understand, it is not I that live, but Christ who lives in me. When I walk, he walks. When I talk, he talks. When I touch you, he touches you. And God is always doing this. And that's the whole point, because there's a beginning, but there is an end. And you're the generation of the end. I'm gonna scream aloud, throw it down, crushing my sweet. Last time I was doing this, teaching someone raised up their hand. Well, I thought these were like shadows. Oh, why are you preaching about shadows? I'm like, well, I think I told you what the class was about. The question is, why are you in the shadows class? What's going on? It's like going into the pizza house. Like, this is pizza. Well, that was a revelation right there. I didn't know what it was. It was Pizza House. It is shadows. But there's something amazing about shadows. You know that? I'm going to show you right now. I have a shadow. We all have shadows. So this is the shadow of Messiah. And it is. It is. So in the beginning of the day, when the sun is rising, if I'm standing right here, I have a shadow. Where's my shadow if the sun is rising? It's over there. How long is my shadow? Very long. Glory. Hallelujah. Look at my shadow. Look at how big I am. So all the people who are jumping on the shadow, they're like, hey, we're on the shadow. Glory is the Lord. Got a long shadow. Don't even know where he is, but I'm on his shadow. Earlier in the morning when the sun is over there, how long is my shadow? A little shorter? All them people on the shadow are having to move in a little bit. They're still on the shadow. They don't even need to know where I am. At midday, when the sun, where is my shadow? I am my shadow. And all the people who've been hanging out in the shadow find themselves in me. And this perhaps is why it says, if the Son be lifted up, he will draw all men. Glory! See, all I know is that if you hang out in the shadows of the King, you end up inside the King.
Dancing under the shadows, cloud by day, fire.
How about if possible, pass this cup from me? See, we don't understand because we're so connected to our physical bodies that we think he doesn't want to go through the beating. He doesn't want to go through the cross. That's not what he's worried about. Taking the beating, all that, ain't nothing. I mean, I've taken the beating. I mean, you actually kind of don't even feel it. I mean, you're knocked out. You don't even know what's going on. Your body goes into shock. This is not what he was asking. What he was asking is this. He said, if possible, let this cup pass from me. If possible. Abba, second time, Abba. Anytime Yeshua, Jesus, is crying out. I mean, I've never seen him cry out. I mean, this is God on earth. What's he crying out? Come on, you know why you're here. And twice he's bleeding. He's pleading with Peter, stay awake with me. Come on, somebody, stay awake with me. Pray, pray, pray. Why is he in this great desperation? What's he asking? What is this cup? 3 times. If possible, pass this cup. But not my will, but your will be done. What is the cup? What is the cup? The cup. All the sins of humanity from the beginning to the end was grabbed into a vortex of time and put into the cup. He took every last drop of the sin of humanity. And that was the anguish, because at that moment he's separated from the Father, and he's the homosexual, he's the pedophile, he's the thief. He is the sickness of the world, because he has to go with the sickness of the world. And this is why we don't understand. The Pharisees grabbed him and they brought him out of the city. Why? Because on the 14th day, God said to the people of Israel, you must remove all the leaven from the house. And leaven represents sin. They didn't know what they were doing, but the sin of humanity was on him, and they had to drag the leaven bearer because he was too much of a curse to be in the city of Jerusalem. The Lamb who knew no sin became sin that we could become the righteousness of God. Now pay close attention. On the 10th day of this month, tell the Israelites to bring a lamb into their home. Each home must have a lamb in it. They must do this on the 10th day of the first month. Now, I have to help you understand this. This is not a normal thing. You don't bring lambs into your house and hang out with them. That's not normal. They're out in the pasture. They're out. You don't bring them in. What's God saying? He says, I want you to bring this lamb in because I want you to become attached to this lamb. I want you to be familiarized with this lamb. Because something is about to happen to this lamb 4 days later, and you can't just go and grab a lamb. You have to see this lamb, look at this lamb, eat with this lamb, sleep with this lamb. You need to be next to this lamb so that when I do my next thing, you'll understand the significance of you being connected with this lamb. Now, how many of you know that God is outside of time? He's omnipresent. down the windows of time, exactly on the 10th day of the first month, there was a lamb entering into Jerusalem. And the people of Israel put their coats down and said, Hosanna, Hosanna. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. You see, the same event that's happening in the past is identically the same event that's happening in the future and in the present in God's calendar. The reason why the children of Israel had to bring that little lamb into their house is because at the same moment they're doing that, the Lamb of God is entering into Jerusalem and they have to receive them. And it doesn't matter how many Pharisees are saying, shut their mouths. Yeshua has to say, if they don't praise me, come on, somebody. The rocks will praise him, because this moment in time, I must come into the house of Israel and be received. No one can stop this.
To you be all the power, God, forever.
When you're a baby, ain't nothing better than your mother's breast. You're drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. You don't need no utensils to eat because you're a baby. But when you start growing little teeth, mama goes, and she starts taking a little spoon, putting some little food in your mouth. And at first, you know what they do? They spit it out. They don't like that. Well, mama don't like getting bit either. So she keep pushing stuff into your mouth. You see, so you go from this soft breast where you don't need any utensils, and then there's someone using an utensil which is kind of round and safe and begins to feed you. But when you mature, you start eating T-bone steak and you have some sharp instruments. You got a knife and you got a fork, and you don't need nobody to tell you how to eat. You just start cutting your food and eating it. The problem with the body of Messiah is that we've been sucking on milk for way too long, listening to the same messages day after day, week after week. How many times you need to hear that Jesus done love you and he died for you, and how many times you have to go in front of the cross? He ain't there no more. He's moving on, and people don't need a 2,000-year revelation of Jesus. They need a revelation of I am today. They need to see him today. They need to see him in you today.
Adonai Kadosh Yisrael
Sometimes you really have to go way back to understand where you are today, because if you don't know where you come from, you can't know where you. It's impossible. See, we don't even know why we don't even know why we were formed out of mud. God, our Father, who can speak all things into existence. He's speaking the light. He's speaking all kinds of things, and they're appearing. My God, the word of God comes forth, and boom, there it is. Whoa! And then God is about to do one of the most amazing things. He's about to reveal to the universe that he just created what he looks like, because no one's ever seen God. And instead of speaking that into reality, he decides to look at some mud and bring it up and start forming this mud into his face. And let me tell you something, all the animals came to see what God looked like, because nobody never seen God. And the angels came, look and says, what is going on? It says, that's the creator, as he was forming Adam. No one had ever seen him. Why don't he just speak this thing? Why doesn't he just speak it? Let there be man. And man would have appeared. God could not speak man into being, because if he did, we would be part of creation. God never brought us into this thing to be part of creation. He brought us into this thing to be sons and daughters. He doesn't create sons and daughters. He forms them. This is what God does. And so he brings us out of the mud. Why? Because God knows that when you take seed and you put it into the dirt, this seed is going to multiply. And what you put into the dirt is going to multiply itself. And this is why we're not here following something. We're becoming that which we think we're following. I pray as you sit here today and you're kind of pondering, as your mind starts bouncing inside of your head, trying to figure out, is anyone watching? Because I think I got to get out of here before things get real bad. Hey, just hang in there. Remember, when God was here 2,000 years ago, when you have an encounter with God, when God really appears and begins to speak, it always ruffles some of those religious things that we're so. I'm telling you that it's easy for us to open up our Bible and know the verse, and it's so easy for us. I just wish I could bring you back in time 2,000 years ago when some rabbi looked around and said, "If you don't eat me and drink my blood, you got no part in me." That did not sound right. That was not biblical.
The place where your glory dwells.
You see, every time God speaks, it's not biblical. It becomes biblical after he speaks it. Come on. Don't leave me up here all by myself. I'm about to run down there and start speaking. So here's the thing. If you have come to hear something that you're like, okay, well, that sounds biblical. I agree with that. Hang in there. It's going to get a little bumpy. Because what God is about to show, what God is about to do, what God is about to do in this nation, in this land, in this world is not of this world. And what's coming to this world is not of this world. There's a war, there's a kingdom. It's like the Super Bowl of Super Bowls. The spiritual battle is about to take place. And it's preparing his sons and daughters for this war. And they've been sitting around sipping on coffee, wondering, how's your day, brother? How's your day, sister? Won't you greet your brother? Won't you greet your sister? You better be greeting each other when you're not in church, so that when you get to church, you don't have to do the greeting, so that you can hear what God is saying. There is no more time for this. Oh, hi, brother. Hi, sister. How's everybody? We'll be praying for you. No, God don't need you praying for somebody. He needs you there next to them when they're going through their hard time, so that you can endure with them. And maybe you may not have the faith or the ability to speak a word that's going to transform their life, but you know what? Maybe they just need a friend next to them. Without a word, without a prophecy, without nothing, just with hands and feet and eyes and a mouth to say, I don't know how to fix your problem, but I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you go alone. We're looking to get the miracles, and God is saying, why are you looking for the supernatural when you can't even do the natural? God wants so much to awaken his children.
Your dwelling place, hallowed is your dwelling place.
This morning, as these things come forth, as this word comes forth, I come to you, certainly not as a man. You're not even as a father. But I come to you as a lover. the birth of the bride. You see, there is the first man, Adam, and then there's the second Adam. And the first Adam is a reflection of the second Adam. See, first the natural, then the spiritual. We think that, oh man, this is really going to get messy now. We think that, oh, Adam and Eve, they done messed it up. And as a result of that, now we're all suffering. Let me tell you something. Nobody messes nothing up for God. That ain't going to happen. The Lord just says, let me do something special here, because I know ain't no way Adam's going to touch this thing. So I have to show Adam that there's something wrong, Adam. And Adam is looking around and says, man, everything is good, but something's wrong. You see, if the first Adam says something's wrong, it's because God is saying something's wrong. The first Adam says, I'm all alone here. Everybody has a me. I don't have a me. That's a reflection. God is saying, I know I am God and I'm all alone in this universe. I can't be by myself. I need me a bride. And so Adam doesn't even know what he's doing. He says, Lord, something's wrong. I don't want to say you didn't do it right and all, but something's wrong. Something's missing. Your creation has something missing. And outside of creation, not in creation, outside of creation, God says, let me show you something that you have not yet seen. Adam, I want to show you what's inside of you. There's something so beautiful inside of you that you can't see, because I need to take it outside of you so that you can fall in love with yourself outside of yourself. So Adam, you just hang there. You go ahead and go to sleep. And Adam goes to sleep. And God is not creating another human being. He is bringing the most beautiful part of Adam outside of himself, the tender, the beautiful, the one who's connected with God in a way that Adam could never be. And so God brings this thing that looks, oh glory, so glorious. And Adam don't know what to do with it. He's like, the animals are running away. You know, on this day, he don't want to name no animals. He's just looking at us. He's just checking her out, because he's seeing something he never saw before. He's seeing what was inside of him. The most tender, sweet, beautiful part of himself outside of himself. And you know, it's so funny. We go to weddings and people say, well, this guy's a man shall live his mother and father and grandmother. What happened is, when he saw that was him, he clung to it to bring it back to himself. So when it says that the two shall become one, it's not two separate things. It's the one that was separated from himself, returning back to oneness again. But remember, he is a reflection of the second Adam. And so God forms this beautiful thing outside of Adam, and God never told Eve not to eat from the fruit. He told Adam. He brought Eve out after he told Adam, because he knew there's something inside of Adam that is so sweet and beautiful, and it's going to be intrigued, whereas Adam would not be intrigued by it. And the moment Adam sees what happens, he says, come on, man, we're not supposed to be eating from that. Come on, I told you about it. Man, but what does he do? He takes it and he bites into it and he eats it. Why? Because he is a reflection of the second Adam. And when the second Adam saw that his bride had gotten in trouble, his bride had taken on sin onto herself, he took that sin onto himself. You see, he said, listen, I don't know what's going to happen, but if you die, I'm going with you. I cannot be Adam without my bride. Wherever you go, I go. Wherever you end up, I end up. And this is what Jesus did for his bride, because if we ended up in hell, he done break down the gates of hell to come and get you out. Wherever you go, he's going to make sure he gets you out. And it says, for this cause a man shall leave his father and mother. And this is why Yeshua said, my God, why have you forsaken me? He separated himself from the Father. He looked down and said, John, behold your mother. He separated himself from his mother and his father, because he was about to give birth to his bride. Water and blood are always connected with birth. He's the second Adam that birthed a spiritual bride, and you are that bride he birthed.
What's up, what's down? Tell me something going around. Let's discuss the light of day. Spitting truth, come with me. What's up, what's down? Nothing's ever out of bounds. There has to be a better way. Always something of a better play. Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack, baby things. Hero Shack, hey, Hero Shack, yeah. Hero Shack, daily things. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hero Shack Daily Things. I am Chris Tamulovich, and I am waiting on Miss Diana. She should be here momentarily. Hope you're having a great Sunday. This is God Chat night for us, and it's not because it's Sunday, but it kind of is. I mean, it is what it is. Christians have that day designated, and who are we to argue at this point, right? So, I don't know if you've had a great day. We have. Let me see if I can get this on the camera. Diana has securely sewn on my cyclopean patch. Very excited to show that off. Went on pretty easy. I guess she ironed it on and then she sewed it. I don't know. I'm not a seamstress, so I just okay, whatever you want to do. She put on a couple of hats. It looks cool there too. But I'm not usually a hat guy. I mean, I could use one tonight. My hair is a mess, but who cares? What else is happening? I took a pretty easy day drawing. I did some research drawing. Specifically, I drew a Roman centurion, which will be interesting. I'll explain that soon. But yeah, I took a pretty easy day. Didn't stress myself about anything. I did finish up the proofing of issue 7 and finalizing the art changes. Oh, Miss Diana doesn't have a link. No wonder she's not here. Whoops. Hang on, babe. Yeah, that must have been frustrating. My apologies. And there's a link out to Miss Diana. Let's see how long it takes her to find it. I just sent it through Facebook, but I'll also send it through your iPad Messenger or Apple Messenger or whatever it's called. All right. And look at that. Faster than lightning. How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to God Chat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's weird?
What's that?
I tried to go to Bible Gateway, and
Yeah.
it appears to be down.
Really?
Yeah, let me try it again. Make sure I didn't typo the address.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I got it again. Okay, so it's back. That was really weird. No, sometimes, yeah, see, that one went down too. It's not going directly to Bible Gateway. If I try to go to the homepage,
Mm-hmm.
let me see if I hit this. Where does that go? It's definitely having issues. Yep, they're having problems at Bible Gateway today.
Oh boy.
I happen to get into a, I think a cached page. Let me see what happens. Yeah, it's down. My goodness. I've never seen that happen before.
That's weird.
It's
That
very
is weird though, isn't it? Like,
well, like I said, I've never seen it before.
mm-hmm. True.
In all my years online, the Bible Gateway has always been up.
It's always been there, right?
Yeah. I guess it's a reminder of how easy it could be for the digital world to take that
So
resource away.
I was listening to your open somewhat,
Yes.
and I missed it. I mean, I was listening, but I didn't know what you updated or what you said. You
Well,
said
the
you had
open-
easy.
Oh, you mean
things
what I was
on.
saying?
Yeah.
I really didn't do much.
Right.
I went through issue 7, touching up the artwork and finishing that up. But other than that,
Right.
and pretty mild of a day. I took it easy.
Mhm.
I did draw a Roman centurion.
Ooh, oh, that's
I'm very
exciting.
excited about. That's playing
Is
into.
this is for 8, right?
Ultimately, yes, it's going to be in the backup story.
Okay. That's good.
Um,
I've been working on dolls and getting those done, and I sewed a couple of patches, test
well,
drove my
yesterday
patches.
we did sculpt.
Yes, we did. You did
Did a great
sculpting.
cyclopean using
I
what's
was the kneader.
what was that stuff called?
Um, it's called
Cosplay.
cosplay. It's what cosplayers use to make a variety of things for their thing.
Well, do they like use it to make things to stick on themselves, like as
Yeah.
fleshly adaptations, like weird
Mhm.
noses?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, exactly.
and you wanted me to wear gloves when working with that?
Well, I didn't want your hands to get too dirty.
Oh my god! She's like, wear gloves. Like I can't sculpt with gloves on. But yeah, I think I actually have some inherited talent. I was explaining to her that my dad was like a sculptor.
Uh-huh.
He used to do it on wood,
Yeah.
and it felt very familiar, natural. I think I could sculpt, especially with my knowledge of the comic book, of art of the body. It's kind of
Mhm.
fun, because you start to realize, oh yeah, I got to put that muscle in there and that bone structure and that
Mhm.
there, yeah, that there,
And that there.
that there.
Uh-huh.
So, what has the Lord done for you? Well, for one thing, we've had our 19th anniversary celebration this weekend.
Yeah. It's been
Thank you,
nice.
God, for getting us through that. The best
Doesn't that
25
sound
years.
terrible for getting us through? What?
Yeah,
Thank you, God, for getting us through that.
yeah.
It
Come
was
on
the
now.
most
Come on
it
now.
was it
You
was
know,
so relaxing for you. Oh
marriage is
my
one of the
gosh.
most
For all
difficult
husbands out there,
institutions in the world
you
to
don't say that
survive.
that you survived your anniversary weekend. We stayed home. We ordered out
Yes,
dinner yesterday. We did that clay thing. You started molding Cyclopean, was
that's
really
true.
cool.
Well, it's the 19th anniversary, so this means in the 20th I'll get hammered. We'll probably have to leave the country and go somewhere, exotic. No matter how much I'll try to protest,
Uh-huh.
because I will try.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah. He
know.
just said he sur- so everybody out there, you heard what he said, right?
What did he
I
say?
survived the anniversary weekend. Do you know what we did the anniversary weekend?
It was very difficult.
It wasn't difficult.
I really
You
wanted
stayed home and you
hey,
did what you
yes,
normally do.
I really wanted to take you off on a wild trip, and you said no.
You did
You said,
not.
"We have to stay home this weekend because on the 20th anniversary, I'm gonna kill you." You
I'm gonna
said,
kill you because I'm
"We're
gonna
gonna
make
put you on
you.
a plane and make
I'm
me
gonna
move
put
all
you
over
on
the
a
country."
plane.
Yeah.
Every anxiety trigger will be hit on the 20th anniversary. So I
Yeah.
let him have a really, really, really nice anniversary, which was great. I mean, I enjoyed it. We had fun. We hung out together. The hot tub pump blew, so we couldn't do that.
Yep. Yep.
We couldn't hop in the hot tub, and so that was scratched off. But Friday we just kind of
Otherwise,
hung out.
it was
Did we
relatively
even?
nice.
I think you streamed Friday night, didn't you?
Yeah, we didn't do it last
Yeah.
night.
We watched a
There
fun
is
movie.
talk about us going to an every other night schedule until we have
Yes,
another book to back,
that is probably
but
what
I
we're
don't
gonna
know.
do.
I'm gonna
I
have a
do.
real struggle with that because of my personal habits.
Well,
So
I'll only be
Diana,
appearing.
yeah,
I'll
Diana's
make
gonna
him do
quit.
that.
She's gonna quit. I'll just be here alone.
So that's how
So
he's gonna couch it that I'm gonna quit. And Chris will be here. Poor Chris will be here alone on Tuesday and Thursday. Wah,
yeah,
wah, 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 wah.
yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
if I let you on Monday and Friday. Well,
yeah,
you
he may
can't be
not.
on Friday anyways.
Why?
Friday's always too late for you.
Yeah, that is true. I'm usually sleeping
Yeah,
by
the
then.
Friday night show is kind of adopting the 11:30 to 12 slot for a starting.
I know it really is,
It's the
and I
Wild
don't.
Boys of comics.
It's the one. It has become that, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's the same guys that hang out in the early hours too. It's just that we're crazy after midnight.
Maybe you should relabel it like you were thinking. to that stream that you used to do all the time. Remember?
Tism Schism?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody out there is truly, going to understand it.
Oh, it doesn't really matter. You just get it going and people will come.
Well,
Or not.
yeah. They
Or
start,
not. Do you like how I did
Or
that?
not.
Or not. Or
Yeah, no.
not. So yeah, so today, what do we do today? Today is Happy St. Patrick's Day to all you Irish folks out there that are true diehard celebrators. I did make corned beef and cabbage with some carrots, and Christopher looked at it and turned his nose up.
Yeah, it
And I'm
was
not
it was
hungry,
fantastic. It was
It was
wonderful.
really good. So I had a bowl of that and a little bit of
Yeah.
that for dinner. And I did it really in honor of my mom. My mom, the Italian Catholic, who is very traditional, and every holiday unto man must be celebrated. And true Italian Catholic fanfare with lots of food and lots of wine, lots of laughter, silly games. So the only thing I got through today was the just the corned beef and cabbage meal. And pretty much
Yeah,
that was
it smelled really funny.
It did not smell funny. It
It
smelled
did
delicious.
smell funny.
Well, cabbage is very strong smelling, but it's so
Yeah,
good for
at
you.
one point I
So
woke up and I thought the dogs had peed somewhere.
good.
And I realized it was cabbage. I was like, what? Because I took a nap this afternoon. That's how cool
Yeah,
it
of
was.
course he took a nap. Then while he was napping, I was crafting my dolls. I have a plan, and it's going to take more work than I would like, but I think we'll be okay. I think we can do this. As a matter of fact,
Well,
I know I can do
sculpting
this.
those cyclopean things will take forever for you. So
What,
I better
cyclo-
make some for you.
Oh, stop already.
Are the clay?
You're working on the first prototype cosplay cyclopean. That is what you were working on. That's your
That's
mission.
easy.
I'm going to leave that to you because you have sculptor genes, you told me.
Yeah. Well, it was coming rather easily. I mean, I think that's a doable one for me.
Yeah.
I
do
mean,
too.
I'm sure a real sculptor will laugh at me, but I can feel it coming
Yeah,
in the air of night. Hold on.
When have you when
Ever-
have you
Yeah,
ever
when have I
done
with professionals and stuff? Yeah.
no the professionals they like, oh my god, they're like, what in the world?
You're not supposed to do it that way, dude.
I know.
Yeah, well, they're always right, but it still works.
Hmm.
You know.
I cannot believe I cannot believe that we finished that campaign so quickly.
Quickly, it was like 60-day, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it just
Or you
seemed to
work
go by
out to 50 or
really
40.
fast. What's
Not
that?
really. It didn't go by that fast.
You didn't think so?
No, and for 8, we really need to pick up our campaign
Mm-hmm.
quality. With Rippaverse doing like over 1 million for something like Yaira, I think we
Yeah.
can do way better if we can get the exposure. But to do that, you really need to pick up the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So by you, I mean me.
I know, but you like to tell me. You like to say me.
I like to
makes
say you in general, so that like I can make it feel like a whole company. But I know
Or
we're
just
small.
make me feel bad.
No, I know how to make you feel bad. That shouldn't make you feel bad.
Okay.
That should not. Does that make you feel bad?
No, not at all.
Oh, good.
No, I'm totally fine. Totally fine. So we are going to be for Comic Book Day,
Yeah.
May 4th. It's usually the first Saturday of May. We will be attending Holy Moly's comic book shop. I'm kind of excited about it. We went last year. We had a really good time. So we're going to be up there again this year. We reached out. And
Do you know if
they
it's
said
going to be in the
sure.
same location?
Yes, it is in the same location. I did ask that.
Okay.
Mhm.
The real question is, what do we show up with?
I am so sorry. Give me a minute here.
I mean, like,
I think we should show up in clothes with some books.
I don't
I think
understood what I
I
was saying.
think I know. I know what you were saying. I was trying to be funny and it wasn't working. I think we should show up with the Great Cyclopean 1 through 7.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't want to be bringing the other books can just kind of stay sit in the back burner for a little bit?
Well, actually, I want to put the other books exclusively online, like for sale,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of let them sit there. I don't want to promote them so much anymore.
Right. Well, we kind of decided that this was going to be the make or break it encyclopedia year, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember you saying that.
So, Lord willing, the one-eyed guy will make his mark. I know I have some big surprises planned for 8.
I know you do. That's so funny.
And
Like craziness.
yeah, it's going to be shocking for the world.
Mm-hmm.
Just shocking, I tell you.
Just shocking.
Oh, well, we'll see. I think so. Shocking for me. Are you yawning? That was very good. I couldn't even tell.
No, I have a
Oh, is this sneeze?
I have a sneeze coming, and so I am trying really hard not to sneeze. Like, and yeah.
In the camera? That's kind of you.
Yeah, well, so people don't have to hear me sneeze. So, anyhow, it is a fine Sunday evening, St. Patrick's Day. It is getting colder up here, which is kind of stinky.
It's weird because it gets very warm and then gets very cold. It's it's really just the way spring is up here.
Yeah, up in our neck of the woods. So what else are we working on besides you being a sculptor now or trying to do some sculpting? Just
well, we've got the cardinal that I'm playing with.
Yeah.
I'm working on a possible byline to keep that totally clear of any copyright claims. But the back story. So there was a collaborator who has a story for this guy.
Right.
But somehow I want to tie this story to an older story to explain his powers, like a secondary origin. And then I have to connect them to a modern day story with a different secret identity, I guess is the word.
All right.
Alias, a different man who's playing that role.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of ways to put it all together. I have to sit down and talk with the other guy.
Right.
Kind of let him know what my plans are and see what he thinks and how he might be able to enhance or, suggest or whatever. But it's coming along really intensely. Like per usual, the ideas don't stop and they evolve and they morph and they grow. And
that's always like that with you, though.
I'm excited. I mean, I drew my first Roman centurion this morning.
Right.
And to give you an idea, they are necessary to protect cargo, which they're sending across the land. Now, I had to actually look up what the military would use to deliver something of great value in Roman times. Because I had no idea.
Right.
And it's funny because the military is always I don't know. I think most times, except for the Air Force, they make some pretty gaudy looking equipment. Okay. And it was the same back then too. It was a big, bulky wooden hulk of a cart that they were using.
Yeah.
I imagine they kept all sorts of state treasure in there, but this is for a very special piece of treasure.
There you go. We're not revealing that yet, are we?
I like how you think. I just revealed more than I ever have, haven't I?
Yeah, you kind of did.
Let me check some. I may be able to share something else. So on YouTube, on my Hero Shack, on the Hero Shack channel, time lapse sketches. It's like a playlist.
Yeah.
And I put one up last night that had some fun stuff featuring ideas about the cardinal. So let me pull that up and I'll share it with everybody. We can watch it. It's only like a minute and 44 seconds.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, hang on here. Let's see. Share screen. Time lapse. This is episode 19, by the way.
And this is one of the characters that you've been working with, correct?
Well, this would be the cardinal. Now, none of these are final. These are just character, possibilities, just ideas, pulling it together, trying to get a feel for what he may look like. And it is primarily based on a sketch from someone else. So I'm trying to incorporate their ideas, you know. Thank God it's the Romans and not another ancient empire. They cataloged everything easily enough for yes. They really do have a lot of background so we can look. This here is a possible maybe the guy can fly, I don't know. But his cape would turn there. This here is kind of like he kind of feels like the Phantom in this one, if you know who that is. The cape is gone, the hood is gone, and I'm just kind of playing around. But I grab all these off of Procreate because I make them on Procreate, and it will make like a video file if I ask for it. And so when you see it like just kind of standing still, that's because I'm doing cross hatching and various details, shading. And really I'm doing these because the kids in the comic club have started looking at them and they dig them. I had to go through and make sure the songs were cleaned up. I found a couple of songs. It was hard to hear, but some of them had like perhaps what would be considered inappropriate language. So I took it out. I mean, I know that radio has far worse language, but I don't need to contribute to that, you know? So
it looks really cool though. The kids love it.
Yeah, they really do dig it. So why add to anything that might be cussing? I'm like, yeah, just get that out of there. Most of it came from Nefex, who I love, but he often goes for the F-bombs or a couple of, you know, he drops a word here or there that's just not really something I can have on a video that kids are going to watch.
Right. And that's kind of funny because remember when you were getting ready to open up a YouTube channel and I'm like shutting it down because it was some kid and I'm like, oh my God, no. Because we don't know what that channel is unless you know what the channel is.
Right.
And
oh no, you mean when he wanted one?
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Came up and what he was trying to do was get Five Nights at Freddy's on the large overhead display.
Oh yeah. No.
We had to stop that. We're like, you know, unless we really look at it and find that it's okay, but most of that stuff you can't really, you have to think of it. You have to understand that a wolf in sheep's clothing doesn't look like a wolf. So when these kids are looking at these really cool websites, you also have to consider the spiritual implications, the emotional and mental implications.
Right.
You know, I am a guy who loves horror stuff. I always have. But it is possible to go too far and to kind of really affect a person for the rest of their lives.
It's true. It's very true.
And I'm not saying that, you know, we have to gatekeep for all these kids to make sure that doesn't happen. But as far as we are concerned, Diana and I will try to keep that. You know, it doesn't matter who else tries to keep that. It's just our particular standard. I just want to be clear.
And we're out of school.
I don't want Tim to get upset with us, you know. Oh, no, wait a minute. It's like, no, we're just talking about our conviction. Yours may be different. Your mileage may vary.
It was in a school setting too.
Doesn't really matter though. I don't think I'd want that in like if we were doing the club in a pizza parlor. I think I would be real hesitant to just let a Five Nights at Freddy's video go up because you never know how parents are going to respond. And frankly, you know, when we got together, our ideals were completely different on completely different stuff.
Yeah.
Like when we got together, you were okay with SpongeBob. I thought he was the worst possible character in the world. But conversely, I was letting Jace watch South Park while you were keeping the girls
away from
that show.
Stuff. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we both had our opinions about what was good and bad for our kids. And
that is true.
I think we both had valid points, but mine was a bit more blatant. You know, South Park is obviously, you know, a bunch of cussing, killing Kenny, all sorts of adult topics that are very comedic. But at that time, with my relationship with my son, it seemed to work.
Right.
And that might have been, you know, you might have showed up just at the right time, though, because God works like that. His timing is perfect.
You're right.
Well, it's not me. It's the Bible. It's the Bible.
Yeah.
It's history is truth.
No, I know. But still, I mean, I get what you're talking about. You know, it's just like, well, that's why I freaked out was because I'm like, I have no idea what in God's name this little boy is having Chris put up there. And I think we should probably not. That was pretty much it. You know?
Well, there's been a
Um,
lot of things we've had to deal with that are totally natural and normal, but we still have to address them.
mhm.
You know, third and fourth graders, they have quite the imagination. So when there was, you know, drawing of a superhero in his underwear and they all were laughing at it, it was like, guys, he's got to wear clothes. Simple as that. But Captain Underpants, well, unless you're doing a parody, no. You know, and that's been my answer. Like we have a Sonic character coming into the book, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And Diana was like, how are we supposed to do that? And I explained, we're going to just do a parody of Sonic the Hedgehog. That's what he
And
wants
it's
to
not, yeah, and it's not like the whole book is going to be, I don't know.
Well, it's not going to sell 1 million copies. It's not going to be
Right.
pressing on anybody's copyright in a
Right.
threatening manner.
Right.
But it will make for an interesting character within the group of characters.
Right.
And this comic will be full of self-inserts because that's what all their characters are generally self-inserts. So
Mhm.
it's going to be not just a comic book, but it's going to be like an expression of who they are.
Right.
And
And
hopefully we can teach them to tell a real story after that.
well, you already said it. Like you were already, saying the story. What was it, yesterday or the day before? We were talking about it. We just have to write it down for them.
Well, I know how all their stories should fit together, all their little ideas.
Yeah.
Basically they all have enough to do a good 8-page story, but not enough to do a 24.
Right.
But when you put them all together, I think we can really have a great little tale for them to tell. Then the next step is going to be the artwork, which I'm sure is going to be inconsistent as all get out. But
Mhm.
we don't really have an option. When you have 11 artists, it's going to vary.
Mhm.
We just have to find a way to maintain all that in a sensible, sane way. And in a lot of ways, the framing, the layouts of the pages, that'll help, and I'll give them a lot of help with that as far as setting
Right.
up the borders and the boxes, and
Mhm.
then we'll just place their artwork in there and we'll
Right.
get it all cold, and
Well,
then it's the big times. We get them to the presses and we get them copies, and
yeah.
lo and behold, we'll be big. They'll be
Yeah.
loving it.
Well, I think the kids will really enjoy it.
They will.
They're very excited about it. It's one of those things that, I want to see to the end. By the end of the school year, I'm kind of hoping, simply so we can give the kids that whole, I don't know.
The
Yeah.
adventure of it, the
Why?
thrill
Yeah.
of it, the
Yeah.
experience of it. I don't
Yeah.
know if we will finish it in time. You know how hard it can be. Some professionals take years to
Yeah.
do a book.
Right.
So it could be a real issue, but I'm giving it my best. They're giving it their all, and the experience has been amazing for them as well as us.
Mhm.
And even if we don't succeed, I know more about next year.
Right.
For instance, I think it would be better to have them all do individual stories because they could go at different paces right now.
Right.
In fact, some of them would be on their second or third short comic,
Mhm.
which would have been fine. But this has been a great experiment, and it's still not done. And we may still have a wonderful product at the end that they can really
Mhm.
embrace. I don't know. We'll see. It's the adventure of spontaneity and experimentation.
Yep. That's
Um,
true. That is true.
I do know as the great Cyclopean grows, however,
Uh-huh.
they are invested more in that than any fans we've had yet. The kids are starting to they're starting to know Cyclopean very well.
Yes, they are. Which is exactly what we want. And we have that thing on March 26th in another school district. We have to put that presentation together. We got to start working on that.
Yeah, that's going to be easy. I'm not worried about that.
You know? Okay.
No, not at all.
All right.
I mean, it's 9 days away.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit down and hammer out how I do comics. I'm going to make it about a half hour long, giving us 15 minutes to talk in between segments, and
Okay.
boom, there we go.
All
You know,
right.
I'm going to run it, stop, talk, run it, stop, talk. Show them different aspects. You know, take a look at the screen. This is what a comic book looks like as we develop it. This is what our editing looks like. You know,
That's a good idea.
and I'm going to explain to them. I don't make it the same way that everybody else does. Everybody's a little different. You know.
Mhm.
I want them to understand that scripts are wholly part of most comic books creation, although I do most of my scripting right there on the page. Whereas my plots are where I write and I put those in a file. The
Mhm.
scripting I usually look at and say, okay, how do I express this? And that's
Right.
why my method is more like the Marvel way than anything. It's just, I don't have a second guy.
No, you do not.
It was Stanley and
It's,
Jack
it's
Kirby.
literally all you.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I'm
That's-
not even schizophrenic, so I can't like go, so
Oh my
Chris, what do you think? Well,
goodness.
Chris, I think. You know what I mean? I can't even do a real like split personality conversation.
I don't know if that's how it happens, but okay.
Well, I don't know either because I don't have a split personality. But I would imagine they can talk to each other. Maybe they leave notes around the house. Yo, dude, pick up your laundry after yourself. Oh man, forgot again.
I don't even know what to say to this, so why
Well,
don't we just kind of keep moving? Yeah.
Yeah, well, we are keeping going. I don't know if anybody wants to join the chat. I'm really not up to staying on very late.
Yeah.
We've only been on about a half hour because I ran Rabbi Peter's Messiah chips for the first half hour. And I was hoping to go through some Bible tonight, but I don't think Bible Gateway is coming back tonight. Let
No.
me see what's going on there. Oh, wait. Ha ha. Hey, I think it's back. So let's look at their verse of the day because it's kind of cute. Psalm 23, 1-3. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet water.
Mhm.
He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. So let's see if it's really working because that's the new international version.
Yeah.
And they always leave me a little dry. So I'm going to try it again. Let's see if it'll pull this up. Verse of the day. Oh, I see. It wants me to actually put it up here.
I don't know
So-
what you're doing, but okay. I see it.
They must have had a went down over there for a while. Yay! Okay, so I'll read it one more time. The Lord is my shepherd; I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along righteous paths for His name's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm glad that came back.
What came back, that verse or the Bible Gateway?
The Bible Gateway. That would freak me out if it didn't come back.
Yeah. Well, you're funny. Of course, it's going to come back, unless
Good
the whole
evening, Jim.
internet, shut down or something like that.
Or they got cyber attacked by Satan. Hey, God bless you, Tony. Welcome.
Hey, Tony. Thank you.
Yeah, I was talking to Diana at night about plans. And very exciting stuff. I can't say anything live yet, though. Do you know what I'm talking about, Di?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're at about the halfway mark. I'm going to share the link if anybody wants to join.
Mm-hmm.
There's no pressure if you don't want to, guys. It's Sunday night.
It's Saturday night.
I was going to say it's Saturday night, but it's not.
No, it is Sunday night.
Yeah, we skipped last night, which was nice. I mean, it felt weird because 3 weeks it's a habit, but it was nice.
I didn't feel weird. I clarify that I didn't feel weird. Chris did.
That's because you're neurotypical.
It has nothing to do with that.
I think it does. I think it's entirely that. You do not form habits the same way that I do
I do, but I don't cling to them as if it's life and death.
because you don't understand what a habit truly is.
Oh my God. Okay.
A habit is life or death. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Jim.
Oh, planning world domination.
Oh, nice.
That
You
sounds
know.
really Christian-like. Welcome to God Night.
Oh,
So,
it was
world
this, was
domination.
This, was this? Did I come on the wrong night? This is not world domination night.
Well,
No.
I mean,
Mm.
you know, our Lord is going to dominate the world one day soon.
Yes, but until then, I'd like to have my shot at the title.
Oh my God, Tim.
Kidding.
What is going on? What is going on with you? How was your day?
Oh, it was all right. I finally got. Let's see. I got a belt and the rest of the attire for my little brother's wedding in June. So
Nice.
I
So
thought you
that
were
was-
talking
there's
like
a-
karate. I was like, did you get your orange belt, bro?
no, but I have been kicked in the stomach by a black belt by accident, of course.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, he asked me, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just give me a moment."
Yeah, you always got to man up when a black belt gets you. It's like, yeah, no problem. Yeah. That was just my bone.
he felt
breaking.
so terrible because he you're supposed to pull your punches and your kicks, and he laid in a little too thick, a little too hard. I think I don't know. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Trying to think more positive. I can't let haters get to me. You know.
No, of course not. You know.
Well, you know, one good way to avoid that. Oh, this is going to sound so much like my wife.
What?
Is just avoid Twitter for a day, or Facebook. I mean, wherever the irritation's coming from. And like, I haven't been on there. I don't think at all today, and I haven't missed it. I'm like, F
yeah.
that stuff.
Well, I mean, I got the thing for Melvin 2, and I had to kind of contact RJ because I think they forgot to put in one of the replacement pages. So simple fix, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, piece of cake. That's why you do proofs.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm thinking when I started the campaign, I had one cover, and I switched it to another, and I had someone who's a very valuable backer ask me what happened to that. So I think I'm going to switch it back because this valuable backer expressed much more like for the first version.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume that he represents the opinion of the majority of fans. I mean, I don't have a lot of pride when it comes to that. I'm like, okay, if you guys like this better, I'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that really is like part of my heart for all of this. You know, if people like something, I try to please my readers, fans. I don't
Yeah.
know. What do you call people like that? You know, I'm not in a position to really know. I'm happy when someone reads my stuff and likes it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess that's fan. It just feels weird, you know.
Well, also, you know what you do is you take negative things and instead of becoming angry or sad, you just let it fire you up, and then you try to go harder about promoting your book or making your book the best book you possibly can be.
Well, one of the things about like marketing towards the comic skate type and never getting anywhere is I've learned to take negatives and make them positives. Like it's been so quiet from the circle that I've marketed to over the last, I don't know, 2 years that like even negative seems like a positive because somebody at least noticed, you know? So these guys are funny. If I'm in like a debate with somebody and they want to, you know, attack my character, I'm like, hey, thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it. And they just kind of get a little spooked. They're like, yeah, why don't you take your little one-eyed, weird-looking guy and go do. And I'm like, whoa, thank you. And they're like, what? But I'm like, you know how to say. Remember the first time Ian said his name, and then the second time he got it right, I was so excited.
Yep.
Cyclopean, and then he finally said Cyclopean in your
Yeah.
second. I was like,
You do.
see, it's getting better.
It's true though.
Well,
Oh,
it always
really?
makes me laugh when people say Cyclopean because I see it, and they want to say Cyclops.
Yeah. Well, this one was the artwork inside the book was terrible, and it's like, well, you haven't taken notice of my book to begin with, so And ironically, I won't say names. Ironically, this person actually had two covers are actually Dillard covers, and
Right,
he uses Dillard as an artist. So, are you saying Dillard's artwork is terrible?
right.
So I just kind of thought about that today. Like, oh wait,
I
He
think
basically-
Dillard's like the best unknown artist I know as far as like
Yeah.
independent / comic skate guys.
Well,
Yeah.
my point is he kind of in a way dissed himself because
Yeah.
you just said the artwork in my book was terrible, and Dillard did two covers for Melvin. So, what are you saying about your book then?
Well, the thing with people who want to insult the art, I get when people don't like art, but I've come to the point where you got to understand, like, art is so it's like such an opinion. It's so subjective. It depends on the person who's reading it, how it goes with a story, how the artist is trying to express. And it's quite possible that, the style of the artist sucks to the point where you don't like it, but that sucking may be great to somebody else, like that just sounds weird. But yeah, like I just have a hard time. Like, I have some books in my possession that I totally do not like the art, and yet I know that there are people who really dig it. So it's like, I have to learn from that as an artist to know, not only will not everybody like your art, but some people will like art that you think just sucks.
Mhm.
What are you going to say? Like, that's kind of what Rippaverse made me aware of, because a lot of the artwork is just not what I would say is great. And yet a lot of people, you can't argue with 1.2 million in sales,
Right.
and that's just the last campaign, and it's still going. It's probably going to end at like 1.5 or something.
I'd love to have 1.5.
You know what, bro? I'd like to have 10,500. I'd be happy with that. Just
Yeah.
for starters, but I can't complain. We have increased every campaign in the number of backers, and the money's been consistent around 2 G's every campaign now. We just have to really, this next campaign is going to be important.
Yeah. I mean, my book's always funded, so I guess that's one thing. And I am recognized for Melvin. So
Yeah, the funding part is important, and it's good to, I don't know, like if you get a sizzle reel together, that's something that's not a bad idea to share. Like, I don't know if it's been 1 or 2 or 3. I think it's been 3 for you, hasn't it? 3 successful campaigns.
well, yeah, but I've also put out 4 books.
Well, however number it is, you can brag about that. Like,
Yeah.
one of the things that I think does help us is when people see like we're on issue, 8, it adds like a credence, like they know that we've done 8 issues.
Yeah.
And I saw this effect with Pyramid Knights too. When they hit issue 7 and 8, they really started gaining a lot of like traction.
Mm.
So it's kind of like I see sort of the same thing happening. It's like you just said, people recognize you for Melvin.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can relate to that because they know me for Cyclopean. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, you're the guy with the one-eyed Superman. And I'm like, yeah, kind of, yeah. Mm-hmm. But there's a new look coming. The Superman look, actually, he hasn't really had a good costume in 4 issues. And the new one he's gonna get will be markedly different because he's evolving. He's changing his character. That's what young men do as they grow into the heroes that they are destined to become.
Very true.
I mean, if you think about the story, the Superman look is what the government thrust upon him as an image, as a marketing image. He's never been a Superman type. He doesn't fly, doesn't have X-ray vision or, heat ray, and he sure doesn't have freeze breath. How would he do that? Right? Blow it out his eyeball.
I didn't think
wigging
that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, like how else would he do it? Like you don't want him
I thought you were
breaking
gonna say.
wind.
I heard. What is he gonna do? Blow it out his? And then I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Eyes.
Yeah, the Arctic fart.
Yeah.
What are you? Oh my gosh, you guys are funny.
So
The
this
Arctic.
is the new cut. This is the cover for the Melvin 2 special edition.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool.
Yep. I like the red.
Yeah, who did the coloring?
That was, I think, George. That's George putting it together like
Yep.
that.
Very good.
It goes from red all the way to like a black.
Yeah, that's a gradient.
Either way, it's awesome.
Chris, stop.
I'm trying to help, bro. No, don't say like it goes from red to black. Just that's a gradient from red to black. It'll
Okay.
help you in the long run. That's the professional term. Trust me.
Okay. Well, like I said, I write the script. I don't do the artwork. Okay.
I know.
But now you've learned something. Now you can say the gradient from red to black. was-
Yeah, just say that, and pros are going to be impressed that you know that.
Thanks, Chris. Now I know.
Don't worry, we only have like 2 viewers, bro. It's not a big deal.
You're supposed to say, "And knowing's half the battle."
Oh, and knowing's
God.
half the battle.
Oh, it's,
Mhm.
the moment's over now. You've ruined it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm good at that.
Dang it, Chris.
Gosh
It's
darn
like,
it.
you know, when you come home for dinner, you start eating, you go, "Oh, where'd you get this?" And she goes, I made it. Oh, I mean, it's really good.
Yeah, that's Chris.
Yeah, I'm the one who puts his foot in his mouth,
Excuse me.
but it fits so well. It really does. I have Flintstone feet. They fit right in my mouth.
You do have footsteps.
How do you think I knew that? You told me, lady.
Yeah, but dumbass.
Like when we first started dating, she was
Kidding.
like, "How come your feet are so fugly?"
I did not say that. Oh my God.
Yeah, she said they look like Fred Flintstone feet. And I was like, "What?" I said, "I don't like you anymore." Bless you.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch the sneezes before I like blurt out on a thingy, an eardrum or something. You know?
Yeah,
I take it Rick is not going to show up, or
he's
Rick
probably over at Mike's, right?
oh yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, you know, I don't hold any ill will at Mike. I don't want to be on his show. It's just, you know, it's
Honestly,
cool.
Yeah, I know. He's not a bad person. I'm not interested in the old comics. Yes, he is.
Well, I kind of am, but it's just the style.
I'm more. I'm interested in like you'd watch a like PBS history doc, right? It's like, oh, that's interesting, but you're not like, oh man, that's great. No, the characters are simplified to the point of stupidity, and there's no in-depth storytelling. It's really boring. They over-explain everything, and that's why I hate these old comics.
Well, we were having a blast last night watching the Fantastic Four. I believe it was from 1968. It was old. It was, you know, the full Fantastic Four, not Herbie the Robot.
Right.
And it was so bad that it was good. It was like Mole Man comes up and he gives this big speech about how he's going to take over the world. And, you know, he literally just said, "I am Mole Man and I have come." And Reed Richards goes, "We, the Fantastic Four, will stand against you. Who are you?"
It was fun to watch for sure.
Why did he just ask who he was when he just said who he was?
See, that's terrible. That's terrible script writing.
But it was hilarious because I'm like, I guess nobody noticed. Like the people were even recording it. Like nobody noticed who said what. They must have recorded it at separate times. That's all I can think. Like, you know, okay, Tim, you're in the studio right now, and
That's some
Diana's coming in at 4, so just do your parts, and then we'll mix hers in. Maybe she never heard your part. You know what I'm saying? But it's bad. It's so bad. It's like, wow. But you're right about a lot of that. But it's also crucial for me to understand that to an extent, because you still have to remember I'm trying to write to younger kids. So like, what are the
Yeah.
obvious trumps I need to hit, and what are the notes that I can kind of avoid so it's not so plastic cheesy
Well-
like it's been in the past.
Well, the problem is that like entertainment, old entertainment, actually kind of talk down to kids like they're stupid.
Yeah, but I think they are. No.
Well, I mean, like
It's not that they're stupid. It's just that a lot of the concepts are too mature at this point, right?
no, I mean, like for instance, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they watered them down for consumption for kids. They thought, oh, they're too stupid to tell the difference between them all, so we'll give them different colored mask and a freaking belt buckle with their initial on it, just so they can tell them apart.
Well, that was great for the toys.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like oh, it's okay. Leonardo has the katana blades, obviously. So how could you like?
I know a true fan should know,
Yeah,
but I think they were taking off of like whatever the Power Rangers were in Japan. The you know how they've been around forever. No, but they were in Japan, and they understood that the multiple colors could bring them much money because kids would buy their favorite color turtle. And I don't know, they kind of got weird. They did try to add a female turtle, and I think she failed. I'm not positive.
Yeah, I remember that.
And now I don't know what they did, but I know April was all messed up. I didn't see the cartoon. I saw clips. So they've messed with them pretty hardcore now. April's not a ginger anymore. She's a kind of a weird looking colored kid.
Yeah, I know.
I think she's a she still.
Yeah, well, they ruined everything. But my point is this: they think kids are stupid, and kids are not as stupid as these marketing people think.
Well, and it also depends. This is where it gets weird because it depends on like what market of kids they're talking about. Like Super Friends is something you hear mentioned a lot, but Super Friends attracted me when I was like 5 or 6. And I remember when I was like 9, 10, I thought they were kind of like I would watch them because they were superheroes, but really I wanted to watch the Marvel stuff, which is still kind of but at least it was more cool. You know, like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was mind-blowing when it came out. They both were actually interesting in Storm. Yes, dear.
No, my nose is just running. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be so gross.
I think it's kind of cute.
Shut up. Oh my God.
I'm very
What's wrong
attracted
with
to your sneeze.
What is wrong with you?
I know. What is wrong with me?
It's my
It's wrong with
desire
Chris.
to care for her.
Oh, what is wrong with Chris? I don't know what's wrong with Chris. I haven't.
I want to doctor you. I want to help you.
Please, it's okay. I'm fine.
Do I need to bring you tissues?
No, I'm fine.
Do you
Oh my
have
God.
tissues?
I
You probably
have-
do.
I have a whole box of Kleenex. I am good. I am sorry.
So, Tim, you have this problem. I have this problem every time I get a runny nose or whatever, I get a cold.
Yeah.
I tend to go for paper towels, and my wife has like fluff tissues everywhere, and she doesn't understand. But I'm like, man snot needs a paper towel. It's a man snot.
That and we really don't care what we use as long as we cover our nose.
That's right.
Oh my God.
But like Diana
Well
gets like
then.
little girly sneezes. Achoo. And I'm like, oh no, honey, I'm gonna wipe out a wall if I don't block this off.
Oh. Oh my God. Well, I think of how my nose would hurt with all that.
Well, that's only if you use it like as if you scrape it. You don't have to scrape it. You just catch
You're
it.
just trying to put something in front of your nose.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. See, we're not picky about what we use for whatever. We just use whatever we can find.
I could use my shirt if it wasn't so disgusting to you. I just pull out the shirt and sneeze in the bottom and tuck it back in.
I'm sure Chris did this when he was single. Did you ever like look at the dishes and go, "Well, I'll get them a little bit later"?
He does that now.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Every day.
Every day he's so bad.
I don't know. Do I?
No.
Good.
I'm just teasing.
Me too. And to be honest, after such an adventurous weekend, I'm just having a little fun. I'm trying to think. So she's definitely backing down. I'm going to start doing like focus nights. One of these nights, I'm going to start a retro video game night where we can actually talk about what games are good for retroing. I mean, I set up handhelds, and there's certain games that are always on there and certain games that aren't. And I don't know. I'd like to see if there's a community I can talk to about that because I love retro gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a drawstream night, but everybody does drawstream night, so we got to do something special.
If only there's a way to download and play the old Mario Kart.
Yeah, there is, but doesn't mean Nintendo won't get upset. Like I know people are streaming it or putting it up on videos when they review it, so I know we can talk about it. But like the first things I want to talk about is some of the best mobile gaming for like quick, fast, booming gaming is Atari 2600 stuff. For me, at least, even though those games are so primitive,
Yeah.
when you play them on a small 3.5-inch screen and a portable emulator, they're pretty cool. And you know, if you only have like 10 minutes, you don't get too involved. You just sit there and you shoot down stuff, or you play Pac-Man. I like playing Chopper Command, I think is what it's called, and it's like Defender but easier. I don't know. I have fun with it. Diane is obviously not a fan. The only thing she's ever played is Ladybug, at least in retro.
That's true.
Yeah, you do a little bit of Mario Galaxy. You do a lot of Animal Crossing. So we could talk about your infatuation with Animal Crossing sometime.
Well, it's actually very relaxing, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like your mental alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
It calls you. You have to go do acorns. Is it? What do you guys trade? Radishes? No.
No, it's bells.
Bells, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an economy where they pick bells and then try to trade them and sell them and
Yeah.
gain profit like a stock market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
Well,
great, kids. It actually isn't bad.
I like it, but I don't like the loading screens. I don't like how much time it takes to go from one room to another.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of,
she's
like-
complaining a lot about load times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it's time for her to get a new Switch, which isn't out yet, but they'll have a new one out soon. Everything will be upgraded, and hopefully it'll improve those load times.
Mm-hmm.
It could theoretically improve those. Faster processing, faster bus, faster RAM. The whole thing is potentially going to charge up the whole system.
Right.
It's why, like, when the new Retroid comes out and you see me get excited and I want it, it's because that little jump in processing power makes all the difference. Darn it, I forgot to order my battery again.
Oh yeah. You did say that.
To do that tonight after the show. My Retroid Flip, the battery swelled up and went bad. So I'm going to try to replace it. I think I'm all set with it if I just put it in there, but I'm nervous I'll buy it and it won't work, but we'll see. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm over here having a little bit of a moment. I got to cough again.
You can mute. Oh, you did mute. Good job. So, Tim, how'd your Sunday go, bro?
It's going fine. I was just looking over the rough draft of Melvin 2.
A gift from God.
Well, as soon as we replace page 8.
So you have to do all the editorial too.
No, I'm looking over. I wanted, I just told them. I told them they're going to do it anyway. I told them to send me a rough draft. Not a rough draft, but a mock-up with the
right
mock-up of the book 2, and they're going to do that anyway. So I just want this to go well.
It will, man. You've had very good luck with it so far.
Yeah. Well, I never thought I had to replace pages.
That's true.
Kind of fucks everything up. I mean, messes
Yeah.
everything up.
Well, you could have left them and nobody could really say much, but it was like an instant reaction. Everybody was like, "Forget it, get it out." And I
Right,
get
well,
it too, you know, like
Well, it's also a reminder too, because every time you see those pages, you're reminded. Oh yeah, that guy.
yep.
Oh.
I'm sure that there's work out there that he's done that isn't being redone, though. You know, people are just going to be real quiet about it and hope nobody notices ever.
Yeah.
Like my devil flyer stuff. I have the ashtray.
The ashtray.
Yeah, and there's a lot of his art in that pinups and stuff. You know, the devil flyer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. No, I thought I had it right here, but Miss Diana keeps cleaning.
Yep.
It's habitual for her. She has to constantly clean up stuff. And I don't even think, oh, she's still muted. I don't like when she does that. Like, I hope she's not like on the floor choking to death.
I'm over here having full conversations, responding to everything you're saying, and forgot that I was muted when I was having my coughing and sneezing thing. I was
You must be
saying,
really mad at me.
no, I was saying that I went in there because I had to get something. I was taking a book count, but I couldn't get to the books where they were because you had all the other books, so I had to stack them up. So I wasn't cleaning. I was just making a way for me to move around.
I see. So we are going to sell out what we have left at the conventions for all the old books.
Yep.
And our stand is going to be dedicated to the Great Cyclopean.
Yep.
Means a new banner is necessary.
I've been saying that for 2 years, sir. But you
I
too
think
busy
you're right.
drawing.
Well, I think we have a
Too
reason
busy.
now.
I mean, it's
We need a
just
Great Cyclopean banner with Hero Shack as a small imprint on that, like the logo.
okay.
Yeah, we can do this.
We can do this.
We can put it together, babe.
Yeah.
So how big can it be?
Where we're gonna just do a pull-up one,
Standard.
remember?
Are you
Yeah,
thinking about a
standard.
standard one, or are we going to have a stand with the pop-up one that goes above us? Or
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that.
What are you talking about?
they have these ones. They stand like on a tripod pole, right? And it goes up and over with like a cage that holds the vinyl or the cloth poster of your brand. Hang on, I'll show you. Convention signage. There should be one pretty easy to find. Allow. Okay, present, share screen, convention signage. Doing. Okay, so let's see. This is the kind most people have. And it's like you pull it down from the top like a curtain. Actually, this one comes up from the bottom. And it stands there. That would be okay. We don't have that one. That would work. But that's not the one I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find
Oh,
one.
you can actually get those made?
Yeah. That's what you got to get them. You got to get them printed. You put your design in. You go to like. So when you go to shows and stuff, you have representation of.
Have you
your
guys
products.
considered doing a lot of mini cons that you put on yourself? You guys have a
Well,
lot
we're
of-
doing the one in.
We are
we're
doing.
one
We
in-
do one once a year.
Oh, the library
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah, that's one that we actually do with the library, but we're doing that one. But no, I wouldn't venture out and do more on my own. It doesn't make sense. I am going to be doing something different this summer. We have a big place called Rieta Ranch, and where you can sell everything and anything. And I'm planning to do that a couple summers,
Yeah.
couple Sundays, which is basically like going to a con because you get all kinds of people with all kinds of
Yeah.
looking for different things. So I'm going to be doing that.
Well-
But to put one up That's a lot more, a lot of effort, and I don't think that
Well,
we're
and
going to
there's
do
no money in it unless you start charging the customer or the tables,
it. Hmm.
and that's really not what we're doing. When we do ours, it's not like that at all. So
I
this
mean,
is almost what I want.
if I may, if I'm
Hmm.
oh
Yeah, go ahead.
that's cool. There's a lot of conference rooms there for rent. You can rent for the
Yeah,
day,
yeah, of course.
and they're not terribly expensive.
Right. But then you have to factor in getting somebody
People
that's
to show up.
somewhat well known to draw that. Then you have to do marketing. You have to
Flyers,
flyers, all of that. It's a lot of work to do to get a good turnout. So
right?
we are kind of right now, we're putting all our eggs in the Athol Hero Shack Press one. And last year we had over 200 people. This year, I'm assuming we'll get a bigger crowd. People are already talking about it. So we are doing one, but to do it on a monthly basis or every few months, I would find that challenging. Somebody else might not.
That wouldn't be enough time, I think.
But there are enough shows locally. Like there are several libraries that are doing it with themselves, not with any other sponsor
Hmm.
that we're hooking up with. And then there are a couple of mid shows, I guess you could call them, where they're one dayers. Like we'll be doing the one in Plastic City,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then
No,
there's
I
a couple of big ones.
no. There's a conference room in a movie theater,
Hmm.
and where I live, but it's $15 when it's your birthday, right?
Yeah.
And I thought me being kind of like what if I just did it on my birthday and set up and sold comic books?
I don't know if you'd get a big crowd. You might. You'd have to do a lot of advertising. I mean, the worst case
Yeah.
scenario is that it doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I wonder
I-
if they'd let you set up and just pay for a table like in the lobby.
No, there's literally a section. It's like a room with
Yeah.
windows.
Yeah. No. I know.
Well, if you
Um,
had to do it there, but wouldn't you want to be where everybody's going by?
Well, it's
Or are
kind
you
of on
talking
the way.
about having like more than you there, like you're gonna
No, it's
run
there's
the
it's
small
literally
show?
on the way to people going to the watch their movie.
So would it
right.
be you alone, or would you be running like a mini comic
I
show?
have no idea. I haven't even gotten that far.
Oh.
I've got as far as like, okay, there's a place that I could possibly rent. There's a place I could possibly rent. That's
Gotcha.
and
You're just scouting out right now.
yeah, and also
Okay.
I'm still on the wait list for Gym State, and they haven't gotten back to me. So there's probably a
Yeah.
good chance that I won't be doing a Comic Con this year.
Ah.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
keep looking around for small shows. They like you might find them in a library. You might even do your own.
Mhm.
Have like a signing show. Good evening, Outcast Comics.
Hello, Outcast.
But like your library might allow you to bring in like all your issues of Melvin and
Yeah.
do a signing, and like have a little if anybody shows up. When people show up, you talk to them about Melvin, maybe even if there's enough of them, you do a little speech about it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe a little suggested donation because don't think you can sell anything in a library because it's a public library.
No, you would be able to. I mean, I know our library will have like author, like an author would come in with their book and stuff, and he sells them. And usually he'll give like a little bit of whatever his sales are. He'll give like a percentage to the library for having them. I mean,
like
that's
I don't think they'd let you come in with like 1,000 T-shirts and here's my Melvin dolls and here's my Melvin sneakers. Oh, and here's my comics. Like they'd want it to be comic based or book based.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could definitely probably go in and sell. I'd check with them, but I know we can in ours. So
right.
Yeah, I'll have to ask again.
Yeah, definitely. You should for sure.
but even if
know?
you couldn't, I mean, obviously it would be better if you could. The
Mhm.
exposure, like just getting out there, getting it in the hands of people. If it's adult enough, you could try to get into a strip club and give them out there. I mean, Cyclopean wouldn't work there, but the
Melvin's
Wheelers
not-
books might. They might be able to sell them there.
Oh my God,
Could
Chris.
they also sell them out of a pet shop? It's in reference to the frog cover.
Yeah, I was trying to think, how do I get through that one without being obscene? because my wife is now paying attention to me. She's like, "What did he just say?"
You got that right. I am listening, gentlemen.
Just
Yeah,
tell
I'm
them.
thrilled.
Just tell them it's cream cheese on that frog.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's nothing. Don't
my
worry
God.
about it. Nothing to see in these pages, but your kid can't look legally. It's not degenerate. It's just not good for kids. Yeah. Tell me to shut up, somebody. I'm going to start going off. I don't want to. It's
I don't know
a
what
beautiful
you're
day in the
doing.
neighborhood. God is great. I am
In the
happy
neighborhood. In the neighborhood.
in the
In the
neighborhood.
neighborhood.
Would you be mine?
Won't you be mine?
Would you be my neighbor?
Tim, help us.
Oh, that was a great answer.
I know. Tim's like, no. Woof, 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 woof. Oh my
Oh no,
God.
that's our dog out there. She
Yeah.
bark-
What kind of
We
dog?
couldn't tell.
she's a blue healer, maybe a blue healer mix,
Wow.
and she barks at everything.
Yeah, of course.
She hates police sirens, birds, and cats.
Oh my God.
Anything that makes noise.
Wow, a handsome dog.
Yeah.
An Australian cattle dog, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Is
know.
that
I
what blue
just
healer
Googled
is?
it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what this one is saying. Maybe it's a different breed. Hang on, I'll show you.
I don't know. She's a handful.
The blue healer.
Yeah.
Is that
She's-
her?
No, she's
Well, not
like she's got black fur,
Mm-hmm.
but she's got that right there, like that right. Now you're scrolling up, like that one right there on the left.
Face. Yeah.
She got that, a little bit of that, but her fur is black also.
Okay.
Oh, she's wonderful.
She's a pain.
See,
in the
you've been
butt,
blessed
too.
by God.
Yes, he blessed us with a dog that's a pain in the ass.
We have two of them, and
Yeah,
they're
we do.
different ways. Like I hate
Speaking of
walking them
which-
together because they always like go opposite directions.
Well, one is a Chihuahua and was an American Stradfishire, an Amstaff for short. And she's part of the Husky and Lab family. And she's a big,
And Pitt.
yeah. Well, that's what the American Stradfishire Terrier is part of the Pit Bull family. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
supposed to
So
be my
my
Chihuahua.
wife brought in a hell dog into my life.
She is not. She is the sweetest little thing.
Yeah, she's got two colored eyes because of the husky.
Yeah.
That's not at all spooky.
It's not. Stop.
No, to be honest, she's a lot of fun. If people saw me playing with her, they'd think that it was too rough.
Yeah.
We're very vocal with each other. I imitate her, so she'll make like a grunt noise. I make a grunt noise.
Wow.
It gets kind of absurd, but it's a lot of fun.
Wow. You do make a grunt noise too, don't you?
Well, like when she was playing with Dante, my grandson,
Uh-huh.
I was scared, and Dante, I really had to watch them for a few minutes to really relax because she is so vocal when she plays,
Mm-hmm.
but like they were just that, they were just playing. But like to hear her, I was like, oh man, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dante kept laughing and kept playing, and they kept rolling the ball around. And I was like, all right, I'll watch it for a minute. And then I realized they were having a blast. In fact, I think she was very protective of him.
You think?
'Cause
Oh yeah.
Tiny is constantly on the prowl to bark and snarl. And
Yeah.
you know, I just don't trust Tiny. She's old.
Mhm.
She'll try to intimidate a small human like that. So,
That's so funny. She'll try and imitate a small.
she
Oh,
will,
it's
it's so tiny. She will like growl and yep. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she's a nasty old lady. Well, I'm weighing all of 8 pounds. Thank God
Wow.
we have cats that have grown as big as her now. Although they're crazy. I had a cat land on my iMac last night and totally freaked me out. Almost took out the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have another one who keeps running with my cables out of my office.
That was funny. I can't even believe it. He did that.
That was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I remember how hard you were laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good Lord. Well, we've been on for over an hour.
I'm getting ready to go
Have
to
we
bed.
been in already?
Well, we started before you got here, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
shoot.
And I played Messiah Chips in the beginning. I did a whole Messiah Chip pre-show,
Well, dang
which
it.
is always fun for me. I don't know if you know what, guys, if you're out there and you watch that and you didn't get it, Rabbi Peta is you can find him if you search for Messiah Chips. Check out his longer stuff. He's got some teachings that will blow your mind if you're just looking for a way to connect with God. I know this wasn't so much a God chat. It was weird. Bible Gateway was down and we got sidetracked, but Christians don't have to sometimes it's just fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. That is true. That is very true.
So Tim,
What?
I hear your book's available at one of those 2 or 3 stores.
Oh, Melvin #1. Yes, Melvin #1 special edition is available at Walmart, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Powell's bookstore websites.
Every time I hear that, I'm going to think Owls is like cool.
Oh, I meant the 2-story bookstore. At least the one in Portland is.
Yeah, well, I think it's cool that you're getting them. And right now, really the only thing we're doing publicly per promotion is just reminding people you can read The Great Cyclopean, number 1 through 6 over at HeroShack.com for free. No signups, no gimmicks. You can just go. It's connected to a Google Drive, and you can read those bad boys on any device you choose. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to run the song and disappear the show.
Okay. All right.
You
Well,
ready?
thanks for joining us, everybody.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. God bless everybody.
God bless you guys.
If you have any ideas for next week's God Chat, feel free to drop a line, an email, a direct message, something in the chat, anything. And yeah, we can see what grows from that seed.
There you go.
All right.
Right.
God bless. Here we go.
God bless
We'll
y'all.
stop what's down, jump some going round. Let's discuss the light of day. Spitting truth, come with me. What's up, what's down? Nothing's ever out of bounds. There has to be a better way. Always something of a better play. Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack, baby things. Hero Shack, hey, Hero Shack, yeah.